everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effie and today we are doing a full face using my new Project Pan makeup. If you don't know about my Project Pan, I have a full face of products in it and it gets swapped out every 3 months. There is also hair care, skincare and body care in it, and I will leave a link to the Project Pan video if you would like to watch it in the description box. But today we're just going to be putting the makeup on my face, showing you what's in my Project Pan. Not really going to be talking anything about the project much, mainly just talking about the products that I've chosen to use up and why I've chosen to use them up specifically. So if you're not into project panning, that's absolutely fine. This is really just a video talking about some of the products in my collection and why I want to use them up. So if that sounds like your type of thing, please do just keep on watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. It's free and puts a giant smile on my face. I put up 2 videos a week and it's all makeup content, so if that sounds like your type of thing, this is the place for you. But I will stop rambling and let you enjoy the video. So we'll make a start with primer. I think I'm going to do my base first today. So I've picked the MUA Pro Base Mattifying Flawless Primer, and I really just picked this one because I didn't really know what else to pick. I don't mind this primer. It's not my favourite. I don't have any like positive or negative feelings towards it. I just know that it's one of the first ones I tested on my channel, and therefore I've had it for over a year at this point. For foundation, I've got the Collection Lasting Perfection Glow Foundation. I actually quite like this foundation. I've not put it in here because I want to use it up or I want to get rid of it out of my collection. I actually have put it in here because I just think this is a good foundation for the time of year. I know that sounds a bit silly, but it's getting a bit warmer now. I want a bit sort of lighter coverage, a bit more dewy, looking more summery sort of thing. So there we go, that is the foundation on. It's looking quite nice. I like that it's not completely matte. I like that it still has texture to my skin. You can still see my skin, it still looks like skin. I did put a little bit too much on and it took forever to blend out, but that's not usually a problem. The colour match is really good to my neck, which is great, and overall I just really like this foundation. Also, I have found that it's not full coverage. I have some like acne scars on my cheek that you can still see through it a little bit. But what I have discovered is that if I put a little bit of my Maybelline Superstay, this is the old version, and I'm actually trying to use this up this year too, but there's not enough in it for me to put it in my Project Pan, so I'm just trying to use it up. If I go in with like half a pump of this and just sort of put it on like the lower third of my face, just around my chin and my jaw, that really helps to cover it, and the foundations actually work quite well together. They don't go weird on my face. So yeah, I am quite liking this, and if I do need more coverage I will go in with a little bit of this. I don't think I do today because I used too much of the other foundation. For concealer, I've picked the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade 01 Pale. I was very kindly sent this by NYX at some point last year, I think. This is an alright concealer. It's very pale. This is obviously just a brightening shade for me, and I don't have one that is like a spot concealing shade, unfortunately, but that means I can use whatever other concealer I want for that. But this is a very matte concealer, and I have the foundation that goes with this as well, and they're both just very matte, which is good, but also like I'm not a massive fan of having something quite so dry under my eyes. I have definitely been reaching more for my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and my Revolution Conceal and Hydrate, because they just hydrate my under eyes a bit better. Just not my favourite, and I kind of just want to get it used up a bit more. I don't know if I'll finish it because it is pretty much full. I've only used this a few times since I got it, but hopefully I can get a decent amount of use out of it. For powder, I've picked the MUA Loose Setting Powder in the shade Invisible Silk. This isn't my favourite powder, I'll be honest. It's very finely milled, so it kind of goes everywhere. Also, I think it sort of leaves like almost white patches on my face sometimes. But the reason I'm choosing to put this in my Project Pan instead of just like throwing it away is because I don't think the white patches are as noticeable in person as they are on camera. Okay, it's not done it there, but we'll see if I get any as I powder my face. Also, the one thing I really don't like about this powder is because it is so finely milled, it goes everywhere when you put it on your face. Like, it's all in the air. I'm just breathing it in, and I don't really want face powder in my lungs. So it's on my face. My face is looking a little bit dry, just like between my brows, and also I have a dry patch on my forehead that I've had for a while now. But my skin does feel nice and soft. Oh, and it's not looking great on my cheek either, but I'm not sure if that's the powder or if that's like the stuff underneath it. And my nose isn't like looking great either. I'm not sure about this combination of products. Obviously I've not specifically used them in this combination before, so what I'm going to have to do is over the next month, the first month of this quarter, I'll just keep testing them together and see if it's like a common occurrence or if it's just like something's gone wrong today. Yeah, and then if I need to, I can swap out products, because at the end of the day I need products that work well together, because this is going to be pretty much my everyday makeup for work and things like that. So if the products aren't working well together, I need to adjust it so that they do. But yeah, it is just looking a little bit patchy and sort of cakey. But yeah, it's just sort of looking a little bit weird between my brows, although I have been struggling with that recently. Don't know why. Just looking weird between my brows. But we'll carry on, and I'll give you a close-up at the end so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. For blush, I've picked a much smaller blush this time round. I don't know how much that's going to help, but I have picked a smaller one. This is the Collection Soft Glow Blusher in the shade 2 Bashful. I really like this shade. It's got a bit of a sheen to it, as you can see. But it's a really good shade, very everyday for me. It's not too pigmented, as long as I go in with a light hand, which I rarely do. But this is a really nice blush, and it's super inexpensive, just like the one that was in my last round of products. So yeah, this is the one I'm going to be using. Hopefully I'll get a bit more progress than I did on the other one. For bronzer, I've picked a favourite. This is the PS Pro Luminous Sheer Glow and Finishing Powder in the shade 312 Medium. This is from Primark, and it is actually just a coloured setting powder or finishing powder for your face. But it's actually a really good shade of bronzer for me, and I really like it. So this is in the project pan. For highlight, I've picked the MUA Undress Your Skin. I know they're not called that anymore. I think they're just called like the highlighters. This is in the shade Iridescent Gold. This was passed on to me by a friend. It's so old the lid has broken. There is kind of some pan in there, but it's not actual pan. Like, you can't see the tin or the pan. But there is like, it is worn down a lot, and I was sort of umming and ahhing about putting this one in because first of all it limits me to just one highlight. I had my Soph palette in my last round of products, and I really enjoyed that because I got to pick whatever highlight I wanted. But the reason I've chosen to put this one in, even though there's already such a heavy dent in it, is because I'm thinking about whether or not I should just throw this one out and maybe repurchase it. Because this is old. I got this off my friend probably like 3 or 4 years ago. She had it for a good couple of years before that, so it is really old. So the hope is I'm going to use it over the next 3 months, and if I fall in love with it again, I'll repurchase it, and if not, I won't. Maybe I'll try and find one in a different colour. I think it's time to rehydrate my face a little bit. Hopefully that will help what's going on between my brows and my forehead. I've chosen the Collection Primed and Ready Dewy Makeup Fixing Spray. I don't know why I've chosen so many Collection products. It's nothing against the brand. I actually really like all of the products I've put in here. Yeah, they work really well. I got through my setting spray in my last set pretty easily, so I imagine this should be fine. It's down to here already. So yeah, I should get through this within the 3 months very easily. Now I'm going to zoom you in, and we're going to do eyes, brows, mascara, all that good stuff. For eye primer, I've chosen the Revolution Primer Lock Longwear Eyeshadow Primer. I have fully used up one of these before, so it's one of those situations where I know it is possible for me to do it. But yeah, I just don't reach for this one anymore. I think now I prefer an eye primer that has a bit of colour to it, a bit of a like shade. For eyeshadow, I have the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. This is a very old palette. Actually, this was also given to me by the same friend that gave me the highlighter. We all know what this looks like. The colour is a bit faded. She did used to keep it out in the sun, which is fine. It's her palette. This is what it looks like. Weirdly, there's no pan in this palette. But I've picked this one because, again, like the Tammy palette I had in my last round, there's like the warmer browns, which I can work with, but there's also some pinky tones. I do like to go more pink when it comes to my makeup. So having those pink tones is really good. Also, this palette has many, many dents in it. No pan, but there are dents in most of the shades. So I think, hopefully, I can hit some pan on this palette because unfortunately I did not hit any pan in my Tammy palette. So hopefully this one will be a bit easier. I'm thinking I'm going to stick to the browns today. Why not? I did not think this palette was going to be this pigmented. I've used it maybe a couple of times since my friend gave it to me. I wasn't expecting this from it. I think it actually looks so, so nice. That Cypress Umber shade, the dark brown, so pigmented. Kind of wasn't expecting it. Was a bit too much, but that's fine. Now, the only problem I do have with this palette is it only has 2 shimmers in it. I might have to dip into other palettes throughout the next couple of months. That worked really nicely. It's a really nice shade. I kind of just wish it had like a little bit of like glitter to it or something. Although actually, thinking of that, I have liquid glitter eyeshadow type products that I could use with this, but would I be bothered to do that every day for work? No. But can I do it in today's video? Yes, I can. So I've just picked up my e.l.f. I can't remember what these are called, liquid glitter eyeshadows in the shade Flirty Birdie. I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on just to make it a bit more sparkly. There we go. That just makes me a bit happier. It's a bit more sparkly. Would I do this for work? No. Would I do this if I was going out for dinner or going out to see friends? Yes, probably. I'm willing to put in that like small bit of extra effort just to make the shades a bit more sparkly. I think hopefully I can hit some pan on this palette. There are some heavy dents in here, like Love Letter's got a heavy dent, so does Burnt Orange, so does Golden Ochre. There's quite a few dents in this palette, so hopefully I can add to that and we can see some pan over the next 3 months. I'm going to do my brows next, and I've picked the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. I've had this for quite a while. My friend gave this to me, a different friend. So yeah, I quite like this. I know that a lot of people prefer the Precisely My Brow, and I think I kind of do too. But yeah, I kind of just want to use this one up because I've had it longer than I've had my Precisely My Brow pencil. So yeah, I just want to get it used up. I haven't written down a brow gel that I want to use, but I think I kind of need a brow gel. I tend to always use one. I tend to always go for a tinted one, so I have picked a tinted one. This is the Wet n Wild Brow Obsessive Brow Shaping Gel in the shade Blonde. I don't know if my Wet n Wild video will be up already, but I have tested this in a first impressions video, so I'm not too sure what my opinion is because I've only used it that one time. Yeah, there we go. I just need something to bring the colour back to my brow hairs, otherwise it just looks very two-dimensional. These aren't the best brows in the world, but they never are when I do them. For mascara, I've picked the Rude Cosmetics Sultry Eyes Mascara. This isn't my favourite mascara, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of the wand. It's kind of that hourglass shape, but also kind of not. It's a very, like, minimal hourglass shape, if that makes sense. Hopefully you can sort of see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this just isn't my favourite. I'm not even 100% sure why. Basically, the brush itself has so many bristles on it. I think it's quite difficult to get your lashes into the bristles, and so you're just sort of coating your lashes in black. So it's not actually doing a lot to add length. It does add a bit of like thickness to your lashes, but if you layer it too much it gets a bit clumpy, which I personally don't like. It's also a bit of a drier formula, which makes it more difficult to work with. It's just not my favourite. So realistically I'm going to be using this in the hopes that I can like change my mind, and if not, it'll probably be decluttered from my collection when I do my declutters in like June, July time. It's just not my favourite. But that's the eyes. Let's zoom out and talk about lips. So just like in my last round, I have chosen 3 bullet lipsticks. They are all in different colours. I will show you all 3 of them. But I've also included a gloss in this round, so I'll talk to you about that as well. So the first lipstick we have is the Primark PS Matte Lipstick in the shade Tickle. It looks like this. This is my pink tone. It smells amazing for the next 3 months. There's that shade there. It's actually not the normal sort of pink I go for. I was expecting it to be more like this shade, like a mauvey shade. It's not. But yeah, there's shade number 1. Shade number 2 is my Diego Dalla Palma Nudissimo Rosetto in Stick Lipstick Nudeology 201. I basically just read out the whole thing to you. This is such a matte formula. It's probably the mattest lipstick I own, and it is the sole reason why there is a gloss in this round. But that is the shade there, the second one. And then the third lipstick I have is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro lipstick in the shade Saffron, and that is my orangey red shade for the next 3 months. I actually really like these lipsticks. They're such a good formula. It's just that one there. They glide on. They're very pigmented. I have 3 of these. I have Saffron, Dahlia and Petunia. They're all lovely. I did used to have 2 others, but I decluttered them. This is really nice, and like in my last round, I'm covering all my bases by having a pink, a brown and like a reddy orange. These shades actually look very similar to what were in my last round. I think today I'm going to go for the Diego Dalla Palma one, just because it'll match the eyes a bit better. Okay, that is a terrible application. It's because the lipstick is so matte that it doesn't just glide over your lips. It really does sort of like almost pull at your lips a little bit. But I personally, as annoying as it is, it doesn't bother me too much. And I am trying to use my lip liners more often, so hopefully I'll use it more with this because that'll make my life a bit easier. I really do like the shade. I won this in a giveaway many years ago, but it is just very matte, which is why I'm including a lip gloss. So this was very kindly sent to me by an Etsy brand called Wild Blossom Beauty, and it's their lip gloss in the shade Autumn Leaves. I think they are closing their Etsy store, which is a shame. This is usually the lip gloss I use with this lipstick, hence why the doe foot looks a little bit of a mess. There we go, just a little bit of lip gloss on to help my lips look less matte. Like I said, unfortunately I do think they are shutting their Etsy store, which is obviously not what we want to see. So I do have to sort of use this up and not use it so much on my channel because you can no longer buy it. This is the look. This is my Project Pan makeup, and now you know why it's in my Project Pan. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not putting earrings in. I'm so tired today. I'm sorry I'm not putting any earrings in. Let me know what you think of it down below. I'm quite happy with this look. I think I would go to work like this. I think now that my full base is on, the dryness I was having issues with isn't as noticeable. I also feel like most people wouldn't notice anyway. Like, how often do I have people this close to my face? But yeah, I will give you a zoomed in look so you can see what I mean. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this look. I'm pretty happy with the makeup I've chosen. Hopefully I can get some use out of all of it and I can maybe finish some products up. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see just between my brows. Just looks a little bit weird. I also have a dry patch like up here. Don't know how well you'd be able to see that either. And hopefully while I'm zoomed in you can also just see that the mascara just isn't the one. It doesn't really do a lot for me. Yeah, this is the rest of my face. I also had some issues on this cheek, but I think the blush and highlight have helped to disguise it a lot. Yeah, it looks a bit cakey around my nose as well. But I mean, it's not the worst makeup I've ever done on myself. So yeah, and there's the lip. So there we go, that is a full face using my new Project Pan makeup. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. It's free and it puts a big smile on my face, and I put up 2 videos a week that's all makeup content, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then this is the place for you. I will leave linked in the description box the Project Pan videos where I talk about these products and their starting weights, but I also have hair care, skincare and body care in that Project Pan. I also have a separate Project Pan which is just for eyeshadow palettes, so I'll leave the link to that down below as well in case you are interested. But other than that, I will let you go. Have a great day and an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!